All right. Hello, hello. Be careful of the wire on the floor there. And then, so it's going
So anything that happens, well, what time is that?
3:30.
So it's gonna take from 3:30 on?
Yeah, but you can edit it. I'm just showing you.
I can edit it?
Don't worry. I'm just saying in general. So, yeah. So 3:30, plugged in everything. Oh, when you're done with it, when everything's done, only thing you have to click is end stream. That's the only thing you have to click, and then you can turn the computer off.
Okay. End screen and then turn it off.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. Kind of set it up how they want it, and then we'll.
Yeah, the tour, just the two tours.
We'll see whatever.
Somebody's alarm's going off. Is it
And
yours?
I think I can leave my car there, but if you don't get the.
What happened?
Okay.
We'll see whatever she needs. I'll be right back. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, how are you, Sandra?
Good.
Good.
Did you need anything from me?
No, I think we're so far so good.
Okay, perfect.
Hi, Eunice, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Nice to meet you. So here's your beautiful baby. Let's see.
Second baby.
Yeah, oh, great. Wonderful. Oh.
Right now.
Oh, that is true. So I'm going to introduce you. How do you say your full name? Rose? Okay. And what should I say about you? I understand that you're a graduate student from Lynn University.
Right now. So try putting it down yourself. So right now.
And just to show you the service, this is my scratching for the timing. You're gonna start here with the 10 minutes of chord, okay? Then you're gonna play the brook right here. So everything that's in a square is what you're participating. Down here, you do the two songs during the silent meditation.
It's like improvisation.
No, the two songs are
songs. Oh, I mean,
and whatever. Then Ashamnu, Viaukulam again. We are your people. And okay, 1 second. You can set up. Where do you think the cellist should be, so that he can be seen?
Well, that's why we have it on the wheels. We can always just, wherever he sits, we can adjust this,
Okay.
You can
Do
see
you want to
my,
be to the right of me or to the left of me, Eunice? Because we're gonna put your chair here or here.
I think here.
Okay, so that's your chair.
Okay.
Is that a good chair for you?
Great.
So why don't we move it so that we can get the feel for it? Thank you, honey.
Maybe not.
No, I'll take it. Thank you, honey. Thank you. You found Eunice okay?
Yes.
Oh, great. Which development
this
was
wire
it?
for right now.
Sierra, whatever. Just off of Del Prado Circle.
Uh-huh.
And when you guys start, I'll take this wire away.
Yeah. Oh,
Right now.
and Roswell, we're
Yeah.
gonna pass these out to those who need transliterations.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to say it, but Roswell, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that we got the right, that we're on the right path, the right, that I wrote down the right name, like you wrote, for Harbor's Edge,
Mhm.
High, Holy
Yes.
Day,
Days.
okay, and then 9/27,
27. Correct.
20, like, right?
I didn't write the 20 part. I just wrote 9/27.
Oh, just
Yeah.
9/27. Okay, great,
Yeah. HE High Holy Days and
wonderful. Do you want to warm up a little bit?
I can, but. Yes.
You're all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to ask about my second instrument, like a little bit not so loud. Can you use for my second instrument some microphone or
Yeah,
this?
yeah, but how? How Can you set it up so that
Just this stand for my microphone?
do you have
What you mean?
another
You have
stand?
stand for
Oh, yeah,
microphone?
yeah, you want like a long?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I got
I mean, there's only, 45 people, and people will be sitting in up here as well.
it. You want this a straight one, or you want something like this?
Something like that.
You're very welcome.
Hi, how are you going? How do you pronounce the name of that? Rajabi.
Rajabi, it's correct.
And how do you pronounce the instrument?
Tambor.
Tambor. Oh, okay, that's easy. Tambor. Oh, Michael, honey, I forgot. I had the 2 bags in there. Could you bring them in? Thank you, honey. What a guy. So, will you adjust it for?
Sandra will, yeah.
Sandra will?
Yeah, Sandra's gonna be here. I'm just here for the setup.
Okay.
Is there gonna be multiple parts where we're gonna have to move it back and forth, or is it just gonna be?
Just
Mhm.
at that time.
Okay.
I am gonna, go at the back and come up, but that's okay. It's only for,
Okay.
1 minute, and
Okay,
then I'll be back up here. So we don't have to move it for
okay,
that.
we can if you want, all it is, just kind of,
It's
spin.
probably better not to.
okay,
Yeah, thank you.
of course, of course,
So will you show Sandra what to do?
of course, yeah.
When I sit down, I can't. Get up. It takes me a little time.
Rehab works in the surgery.
Anyway, I'll go and I'll try, so I.
You want to say, Roberta?
Hi, Roberta. How are you? Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all. Hi, Shirley. How are you, Ruth? Hi, Marion.
15 minutes to full charge, okay.
Does that make sense to you, Eunice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can hold. It's, I can walk.
It's the getting up and down.
It's the getting up. No, when you stand, okay, but you get up to stand. I go to surgery. And almost 3:30, she says it's 2:30, she thought it's tomorrow.
Mrs. L didn't even know she's a reader and she didn't even know.
Hi, Renee.
Just can,
Thank
just
you, my
confused. Oh, be careful.
I got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's a little confused.
The reason I called you, did you edit the tape yet?
No, I haven't, you sent me a message?
Yeah.
I haven't even been in my office yet, but
Have you edited the tape from Thursday?
I did. But what's going on? What do you mean?
I did a small mistake, I thought I could correct it, but I'm sure nobody will pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? Let me see if I can.
All right. When I talked about the circles, but I was looking at something else.
Sandra?
So there's two numbers that you have to be changed.
You need more trouble than it's worth.
No, nobody's gonna do that.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is we put a written report, however, that I'm gonna change.
Okay.
That's easy.
Okay.
Or is it too at the end for him to say surprise?
Well, it's just, it's gonna look weird if I cut a little part out. It would have to be all.
No, but at the end.
No.
No,
If you got Jim at
if
the
I
end. We'll-
could, they edited.
Yeah, I already put it all
No,
together.
I know you were doing it in a hurry, I didn't think that. But anyhow, as I said, most people probably not even gonna pick it up.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
She can't get up again. She's sitting in that and she's all stressed out. And she's all being
Okay, so, 90% of the time, the camera's gonna be here, the laptop, for anyone who's up here talking. At one point, the cello player is gonna play, and we're gonna, and I say we, Sandra, gonna rotate this bad boy, okay? I'm gonna wait for him to come over when he sits and we'll look at it. But, he's gonna play,
He's kind of the tall guy.
yeah, but it should be.
It should be perfect.
Yeah.
But will we see, well, his cello's big.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, once he comes over, but that's all you're gonna have to do, then when he's done, you're just gonna adjust it, and she'll tell you, it's kind of like centered here, you see how I have it, it's kind of going straight with the heart.
You're doing it at the beginning and you're doing it at the end. So the end,
Somewhat.
it's best that you're in order. Myron, this is Eunice.
When does that happen?
No, I'm not sure when.
Myron is on
But they'll
our
tell me and I can
Yeah.
get up.
Yeah, or you're gonna be in
Made
there,
everything
just in case.
possible.
Oh, no, I mean, I get up.
Yeah, yeah.
Do I have to sit in for 3 hours?
Oh, I was just thinking.
That's why I said I'm gonna get up. What's the red thing?
Where's the microphone? I got them all right here. Got them all right here. They're all cleaned off. You can have one here. Okay. One here. Okay. And then you got one over here.
To the box.
Yeah, I don't think we need it.
Okay.
And the Cantor has hugs.
Yes.
I'm just gonna put it next to the flower here.
Yeah,
So it
okay.
needs it.
It's tomorrow morning
Okay.
that we're gonna have the issue.
Okay.
Because you're gonna have 5 people
10 minutes.
and there's no cups, so they're gonna have to, like we did the other day, wipe off the,
Okay. Well, we,
microphone when they pass it.
no, we'll make that work.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Janice will be up here tomorrow. I won't be up tomorrow, but Janice will.
Okay. They're all good. Yeah, once they start, I'm gonna remove this wire.
Oh, you're gonna unplug it?
Yeah, once it starts.
It's all fully charged.
Yeah, when I did it, the second service, 2.5 hours or whatever, it wasn't plugged in. So it'll be okay.
And you kept it on charge.
Yeah, it's a charge, yeah. As I said, this thing, we'll take it off charge in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
This is you before the service. This is you at the brook. This is you down here with the meditation. And this is
Yeah.
coming from the
I'm not gonna leave you a little after this.
We have your people and so you can keep this. I want to know, to have an idea
What's
where
up?
you are.
Sandy,
Yes.
Tuesday, we're gonna release another one.
Okay.
You don't have it yet.
You want to go the rest of the
Okay. You know where, so you'll give it to me tomorrow morning, tonight or tomorrow morning? It'll go
Tuesday
into
morning.
Tuesday morning, you'll give it to me?
Yeah, right?
It'll be fine.
And then the other one that you got that's ready, I'll let you know. Hold on.
Will do. You want?
There's a lot of friends.
We all do.
Getting up on that, but
Yeah, who needs a book?
They never got the
Okay, they never came to the first one? Okay.
And, I don't know, yeah, so, but they're
One second, I gotta take care of the door. Yeah, you can take one, I'll get you one. Just one, yeah, okay, I'll be right back.
Tomorrow morning. The last one, yeah.
I'll be right back, Sandra.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell her. I want her
That's very good.
I'll manage. Good. I know you will. You're amazing.
Okay, great, thank you. So the last one, yeah, great, you tell them. Anything said?
I know, I just got a call that the person who's doing the last Aaliyah tomorrow afternoon, is Aaliyah. No, I'm giving, I can't. No, but you would be my first choice. I mean it.
That's it.
Got it.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize, so we'll look for it tomorrow. Nice looking.
Michael knew it, I got a call. Tomorrow afternoon.
Wonderful. So we should. Okay. Are we ready? Good? Elaine?
Hi. Good yonted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm checking, let's see, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. You're all together, we're all together.
Yeah, that's what I just did, yeah.
And Mike Callis, right? Right.
Sandy, okay? Yes, ma'am. She said, I don't.
You know, it's funny.
Let me give her a hug. I know we're not supposed to.
Mwah.
Virtual.
Virtual hug.
How do you do, Roswell?
I'm well, thank you.
I was gonna try to get it over here.
Yeah, I got it done.
Which good.
All right? Is it comfortable? Yeah, except I'm hot.
Yeah, I just asked him.
Is it hot?
Yes, very, very.
I'm not, never, it's funny, I'm never conscious.
Oh.
Is it ever?
Yeah, I turned it down. I turned it down. This is right.
Thank you.
So all this one, where?
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah, I'll put it right there.
is Ellie on the stage?
Yes, she is. She's on the left-hand side.
Let's see if Kusam is here.
Yeah.
No, wonderful. Yeah, you put it wherever you feel comfortable.
You're gonna put that over your nose.
Huh?
That's what you said, put it over your nose.
Oh, it wasn't on? Don't thank you.
Doing very well.
What are you doing?
He's saying he's starting with the cello.
cellist is gonna play.
No, but I speak first.
No, not now, not yet. We're gonna start before the service begins with the
Yeah.
cello.
The cello?
Yeah. Not his full intro, just music, because people are coming in.
Is that?
And then, no, you don't come in until, so it says Janice. So first I'm gonna speak,
Oh,
then I'm gonna do an English reading, and then I invite you up.
all right. So Myron doesn't speak.
For the candles, and then you remain up there for co-hits. You don't do, first you do candles first, then. Okay. Co-hits. You do that after the. Where's Myron? Is he gonna speak as well, or no? He wants to say a few things. He can introduce me by name. Okay, Eunice. Eunice is the cellist.
What do you mean? You talk about lying?
Yes.
What's the matter?
So, is this comfortable for you right here?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we'll all be the same
You
sound.
give me a nod.
Yeah, wait a minute, let's, I'm just wondering.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I'd like it, so, Eunice.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'd like it, so can you bring it over here? Because
No. Well,
You want it over here?
is it possible, Eunice, that you put that over here? Is that all right with you? So that we get full vision of you. Put your mask over your nose, please.
So,
Do you want to just test the mic if that's the pitch you have?
Good yontif, everyone. Just before the service starts, I want to introduce you to our cellist for this evening. We're delighted to have Yunus Rajabi from Uzbekistan. He is a graduate student at Lynn University, and we're absolutely delighted to have him here. He will play some music for us as we're meditative music as we're preparing for the High Holy Days. There's a Peanuts cartoon that poses food for thought for the High Holy Days. In the cartoon, Lucy walks towards Charlie Brown, who is standing on the pitching mound. She tosses him the baseball and says, "Sorry, I missed that easy fly ball. I thought I had it, but suddenly I remembered all of the others I've missed. The past got in my eyes." Well, the purpose of the High Holy Days is to acknowledge the past, deal with it, and ask for forgiveness for our failures. The hope is that we leave it behind and begin our new year with a clean slate. This cartoon reminds us that if we choose to allow it, the past can continue to influence our present and in turn, our future. To what avail, might we ask? Are we to let our past misdeeds be the sole determinant of what happens to our future? Or perhaps, if we enter the new year with a new image, one in which the past does not get in our eyes, this time we may catch on to the importance of taking a renewed look at dealing with life. And now I invite you to please take your prayer books and open up to page 247. Page 247 as we begin the Yom Kippur Kol Nidre service. Sovereign of the universe, in awe and humility, I have come to stand before you to pray with your people Israel and on their behalf. Who is fit for such a task? Yet you are present to us whenever our voices rise in praise. In your great mercy, have compassion on me and on all us. Let all my congregation not falter on my account, nor I on theirs. Guide the lips of those who lead your people in worship. Strengthen our faith and purify our thoughts. And let your love draw a veil over all our failings. So may our prayers ascend this day to the throne of your glory. And now it is my great pleasure to invite Myron Strober to the Bima, where Myron will offer a few words on behalf of the Harbor's Edge Religious Committee.
Chag Sameach. On behalf of the Harbor's Edge Shabbat Assembly Committee, I am pleased, Nachamo, once again, to welcome everyone to our High Holy Day services
Bring the mic closer.
and the continuation of our High Holiday services as we move from the warm tones of Rosh Hashanah to the solemn and more somber tones of Kol Nidrei and Yom Kippur. There is the story of a couple that moved from the city into the suburbs. In the city, they attended an Orthodox synagogue. They were able to walk the holidays. Now they're in the suburbs. And the wife tells her husband just before Rosh Hashanah that, everything is different here. They don't have an Orthodox synagogue, it's a Reform synagogue. And we can't walk, we'll have to drive. Well, he's unhappy, but he realizes that would have to be. So on Rosh Hashanah, they drive to the synagogue, and not to be conspicuous, he parks a block away and across the street. And he looks out, and he doesn't see any cars near the synagogue, doesn't see any people milling around. And with puzzlement, he looks at his wife, and she said, look, there's a sign on the door. Go across the street and see what it says. Well, he goes across the street, he comes back, and she said, what did it say? And he replies, closed for the holidays. Fortunately, our Harbor's Edge Reform Synagogue is not closed for the holidays.
Yes.
And our congregation, together as a family, can observe Rosh Hashanah, Kol Nidrei, and Yom Kippur services.
But you don't do it yet.
Thanks to various people that I mentioned last week, we can, with some modifications, have, to the extreme it was possible, an actual rather than a virtual service. Little Willie, in the well-known children's Christmas poem, tells us that in order to be deserving of all the presents he wishes for Christmas, he knows that even though he would misbehave, he didn't practice good behavior all year long, just before Christmas, I'm as good as I can be. This afternoon, as we chant the haunting and awesome words and melodies of the Kol Nidrei prayer, let us remind ourselves, unlike Willie in the poem, as Jews, we are responsible for good behavior all of the time. And in order for us to be deserving of our wishes, we must observe that behavior not only for ourselves, but to others as well. In order for our wishes to be inscribed and now sealed in the book of life. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Amen.
Amen.
The committee wishes to tell everybody that is going to fast to have an easy fix. Kol Tov. And now I'm going to ask the chair of a Shabbat Assembly Committee, Janice Cooper, to come up and present her essay on the meaning of Kol Nidre and to light the festival candles.
First one. Very well done, Jeff Clark.
Thank you, Myra. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav. V'tzivanu lahadlech ner shel Yom Tovim. Yom Kippur. I want to say to all of you, Gemar Chatima Tova, may you have a good final signing, the Sefer Chaim in the Book of Life. Kol Nidre, of course, you know it means all vows. This service has become one of the most sacred ceremonies in the Hebrew liturgy. It is ancient. It appears way back in the Babylonian Talmud of over 2,000 years ago. Its origins are actually unknown. The origin of the deeply spiritual music we will be hearing tonight is also unknown. However, throughout the ages, much has been argued and written about the ethics and implications of having one's vows, obligations, and promises forgiven and annulled. In fact, during the Middle Ages in Europe, rabbis set definite conditions as to which unfulfilled vows and obligations could qualify for Kol Nidre annulment. Vows were abrogated by rabbinic courts or by an expert Jewish scholar after careful investigation. The decision was made whether or not that particular issue qualified for divine forgiveness on Yom Kippur. The Kol Nidre prayers were extremely important to the Jews of Spain in the late 1400s during the dreadful time of the Inquisition. Jews hid in their cellars, praying to God to annul their forced vows of conversion to Catholicism, which they had made in order to avoid death. Today, the meaningful interpretation has become more basic as we beseech God to include us in the Book of Life and give us the opportunity to begin the new year fresh, unburdened, and renewed. We state that those vows that we inadvertently might not have fulfilled after great effort to do so be annulled and no longer our responsibility as of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. This has become the essence of our liturgy today, and the liturgy that we will pray tonight, that has become a cherished ritual throughout the Jewish world. The message is one of personal responsibility. So I wish Gemar Tovim, Gemar Chatima Tova to my family and to you all, my family of Harbor's Edge. Let us now join with Jews all over the world in the Kol Nidre service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janice. Sandy, could I ask you to? And now, once again, if you didn't hear my introduction of Yunus Rajavi from Uzbekistan, a graduate student of Lynn University, and we're absolutely thrilled that you are here today. Now Eunice will play for us the Kol Nidre by Max Bruch. Thank you. Isn't this beautiful? You can take a 15-minute break and come back. We're on page 249 in our prayer books, and we will read responsibly. Once more, Atonement Day has come, all pretense gone, naked heart revealed to the hiding self. We stand on holy ground between the day that was and the one that must be. We tremble. At what did we aim? How did we stumble? What did we take? What did we give? To what were we blind? Last year's confession came easily to the lips. Will this year's come from deeper than the skin? Say then, why are our paths strewn with promise like fallen leaves? Say then, when shall our lust be for wisdom? Say then, love and truth shall meet, justice and peace shall embrace. Together, O hope of Israel, in our weakness give us strength. In our blindness be our guide. When we falter, hold our hand. Make consistent our impulse for good. Let us know the joy of walking in your ways. And together on page 251 at the top, for transgressions against God, the Day of Atonement atones. But for transgressions of one human being against another, the Day of Atonement does not atone until they have made peace with one another. Serena, you have a tissue. You have a tissue. Or zarua la tzadik ule yishrei lev simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Beshuva shel mala or beshuva shel mata, al da'at hamakom ve'al da'at hakahal. Anu matirin lehipalel im ha'avaryanim. In the sight of God and of the congregation, no matter how far some of us may have transgressed by departing from our people and our heritage, we pray as one on this night of remembrance. Kol nidre, a whisper of wings, as promises are remembered, saint and sinner alike communes with the Most High. We are at one. Together at the bottom of page 251, heart of all life, from this Day of Atonement to the next, may we reach it in peace. All Israel makes these vows to turn from sin and wrongdoing and to walk in the way of your law, the path of justice and right. Yet we know our weaknesses, how prone we are to fail. Help us to keep these vows made with contrite hearts. We have come to seek pardon and forgiveness. Di
darna ودهیش دورنا ودها قريمنا ودي أسرنا نفشتنا מיום כיפורים זה עד יום כיפורים הבא עלינו לטובה איחרתנה בהון כולהון יהון שרן שביתי בטלין ומבוטלין לשרירים ולקיימים נדרנה לא נדרי ויסרנה לא אסרי ושבועתנה Let all our vows and oaths, all the promises we make and obligations we incur to you, O God, between this Yom Kippur and the next be null and void, should we, after honest effort, find ourselves unable to fulfill them. Then may we be absolved of them. ונשלח כל עדת בני ישראל ולגר הגר בתוכם כי לכל העם כי לכל העם כי לכל העם Bishgana. Knowingly or not, the whole community of Israel and all who live among them have sinned. Let them be forgiven. Salahna la'avon ha'am hazeh kigodel chasdecha vecha asher nasata la'am hazeh Mitzrayim ve'ad heina. Together, as in your love, you have been patient with this people from the time you led us out of Egypt to be to the present day. So in your great love, may you forgive your people now. Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvaracha. Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvaracha. Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha. And God said, I have pardoned in response to your plea. Let us join together in the Shehachiyanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehachiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lahazman hazeh. Blessed is the eternal God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and enabling us to reach this season. And now we begin with the festive melody of the Baruch Hu, the call to worship, in the middle of page 253. Lai, la, lai, 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 la, lai, 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 la, lai, lai, lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach la'olam va'ed. We continue on the next page. Oh God, how can we know you? Where can we find you? You are as close to us as breathing, yet you are farther than the farthermost star. You are as mysterious as the vast solitudes of night, yet as familiar to us as the light of the sun. To Moses you said, you cannot see my face, but I will make all my goodness pass before you. Even so does your goodness pass before us in the realm of nature and in the varied experiences of our lives. Together at the bottom of page 254, when justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness. Then your goodness enters our lives. Then you live within our hearts and we through righteousness behold your presence. And now let us join together in the watchword of the Jewish people, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Yevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. And we read together in the middle of the page. You shall love your eternal God with all your mind, with all your strength, and with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your ways, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. And we continue on the next page. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. In the middle of page 257, we thank God for redeeming us from slavery in Egypt and bringing us to the promised land in freedom. Lai, la, lai, 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 la, lai, 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 Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, yorati lo osei emet. Malachutecha ragu panecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני כל ישראל. We're on the next page, page 258 in the English. The shadows fall, but end of day fills the eye with brightness. The infinite heavens glow, and all creation sings its hymn of glory. With hope, therefore, we pray for the light within. Our God, reveal yourself, hide no more. Let your face shine on all who seek you. Together, eternal and infinite God, banish our darkness. Be present to us as the sudden light that lifts the hearts and brings us joy. Then shall we be at peace, O God, whose peaceful shelter we seek throughout all the days and nights of our lives. In the middle of page 259, on this day, Ki bayom hazeh yekaper aleichem letaher etchem mikol chatoteichem lifnei Adonai titaharu. For on this day atonement shall be made for you to purify you. You shall be cleansed from all your sins before the Eternal. The Chatzi Kaddish. V'yitgadash shemei rabo v'yamod divrach hirutei v'yamlich malakutei b'chayei kol u'v'yom mekol u'v'chayei dekol beit Yisrael V'galav b'tzvan kariv v'yimaru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei olmayah idavara. Yetbarach v'yishtabach v'yibar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitagdar